Ripples in the void. The vast emptiness of space stretched out before the UES Horizon, humanity's most advanced deep space exploration vessel. Captain Sarah Chen stood on the bridge, her dark eyes scanning the star-studded void beyond the viewscreen. After months of uneventful travel, the crew was growing restless, eager for a discovery that would justify their long journey into uncharted space. "Captain, I'm picking up an unusual energy signature," Lieutenant Raj Patel announced from his station, his voice cutting through the low hum of the ship's systems. "It's unlike anything in our database." Sarah straightened, her interest piqued. "On screen, Lieutenant." The main view screen flickered to life, displaying a swirling mass of blue-green energy against the backdrop of space. As the crew watched, fascinated, the energy coalesced into a more solid form, a ship, but unlike any they had ever seen before. "My God," Sarah breathed. Is that a ship?" The alien vessel was a marvel of engineering, its sleek, almost organic design suggesting a level of technology far beyond humanity's current capabilities. But something was wrong. The ship listed to one side, and intermittent flashes of energy crackled along its hull. "They appear to be in distress, Captain," Raj reported, his fingers flying over his console. "I'm detecting severe power fluctuations and life signs. Faint, but definitely there." Sarah's mind raced. This was first contact, the moment every explorer dreamed of but few ever experienced. But it was happening under less than ideal circumstances. The wrong move could have disastrous consequences, not just for her crew, but for humanity as a whole. "Options, people," she called out, her voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through her veins. Her first officer, Commander Jack Morrison, stepped forward. "We could try hailing them," he suggested. "Offer assistance." "And if they perceive that as a threat?" Sarah countered. "With all due respect, Captain," Ensign Elena Rodriguez chimed in from her station at the helm, "if we were in trouble in unknown space, wouldn't we hope that someone would stop to help?" Sarah nodded, a small smile tugging at the corners of her mouth. Elena was young, but she had a good head on her shoulders. "You're right, Ensign. Let's show them what humanity is made of. Lieutenant Patel, open a channel." Raj worked his controls, then nodded to the captain. Sarah took a deep breath, then spoke. "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the United Earth Ship Horizon. We've detected that your vessel may be in distress. We're prepared to offer assistance if needed." For a long moment, there was no response. The bridge crew held their collective breath, the tension palpable. Then suddenly, a burst of static erupted from the speakers, followed by a series of high-pitched tones and clicks. "That's no language I've ever heard," Jack muttered. "Run it through the universal translator," Sarah ordered. "See if we can make any sense of it." Minutes ticked by as the ship's advanced AI worked to decipher the alien communication. Finally, a halting, synthesized voice emerged from the speakers. "Gratitude, danger, assistance welcome." Sarah's heart raced. They had made contact. "We're going to approach your vessel," she said clearly. "Please understand that our intentions are peaceful. We only want to help." She nodded to Elena. "Take us in, Ensign. Nice and easy." As the horizon drew closer to the alien ship, more details became visible. The vessel's hull was made of material that seemed to shift and flow like liquid metal. Intricate patterns adorned its surface, pulsing with a faint, internal light. "Captain," Raj called out, his voice tense. "I'm detecting a massive energy buildup in their engine core. If it goes critical..." Sarah didn't need him to finish the thought. An explosion of that magnitude could easily destroy both ships. "Ensign Rodriguez, hold position. Lieutenant Patel, can we extend our shields around their vessel?" Ray's fingers flew over his console. "It's possible, but it'll put a massive strain on our systems. We might be able to hold it for a few minutes at most." "Do it," Sarah ordered, "and prepare to transport their crew aboard. Commander Morrison, assemble a medical team in the shuttle bay. We don't know what condition they'll be in." As the crew sprang into action, Sarah watched the alien ship on the view screen. In all her years of training, all the simulations and hypothetical scenarios, nothing had prepared her for this moment. They were about to make history, to change the course of human civilization forever. But more than that, they were about to save lives. And in that moment, Sarah knew that whatever differences might exist between their species, some things were universal. The desire to help, to reach out a hand to those in need, that was what it meant to be human. "Shields extended, Captain," Raj reported. "Transport is ready on your mark." Sarah nodded, her jaw set with determination. "Let's bring them home. Energize." As the first shimmering forms began to materialize in the horizon's shuttle bay, Sarah Chen and her crew stood on the precipice of a new era. Whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, guided by the best of what humanity had to offer: courage, compassion, and an unshakable spirit of exploration. The adventure was only beginning, the whisper of starlight. The shuttle bay of the UES Horizon hummed with nervous energy as the alien forms materialized. Captain Sarah Chen stood at the forefront, her hand hovering near her holstered stunner, a precaution she hoped wouldn't be necessary. As the shimmering light faded, gasps echoed through the bay. The aliens were breathtaking. Tall, willowy figures stood before them, their skin a canvas of shifting iridescent patterns that seemed to flow like liquid starlight. Large, almond-shaped eyes blinked slowly, taking in their surroundings with an intelligence that was almost palpable. But what struck Sarah most was their fragility. They seemed almost translucent, as if a strong gust of wind might shatter them. One of the aliens stepped forward, its movements fluid and graceful. It opened its mouth, and a haunting melody filled the air, accompanied by flashes of light across its skin. Dr. Zara Okoro, the ship's spenobiologist, stepped up beside Sarah, her eyes wide with wonder. "Captain," she whispered, I think they communicate through bioluminescence and sound waves." Before Sarah could respond, the ship's AA chimed in. Translation matrix updated, attempting interpretation. The alien's song transformed into words, stilted but understandable. "Gratitude, saviors from the void. We are the Lumina. Our vessel, our home, dying." Sarah took a deep breath and stepped forward. "I'm Captain Sarah Chen of the UES Horizon. We're here to help. Can you tell us what happened to your ship?" The Lumina's lights pulsed rapidly, its song taking on a mournful tone. "Ancient enemy, the Void Eaters. They feed on energy. Our stars, our worlds, all consumed. We fled, but they followed. Our ship, last of our kind." A chill ran down Sarah's spine. An enemy that consumed entire stars. It seemed impossible, yet the evidence floated outside their ship, broken and drifting. "We'll do everything we can to assist you," Sarah assured them, even as her mind raced with the implications. "Dr. Okoro will see to any medical needs. Commander Morrison will help get you settled in our guest quarters." As the crew bustled about, helping the Lumina, Sarah pulled her chief engineer aside. "Yuki, I need options. Their ship is the last of their civilization. We can't let it be destroyed." Yuki Tanaka, a compact woman with a shock of blue hair and a perpetual smirk, cracked her knuckles. "Well, Cap, we could try to stabilize their core, but we'd need to understand their tech first, and fast. Work with them. Learn everything you can," Sarah ordered. "We're not losing that ship." Over the next few hours, the horizon buzzed with activity. The Lumina, despite their frail appearance, proved to be brilliant scientists and engineers. Yuki found herself in awe of their intuitive grasp of theoretical physics that humans had only begun to scratch the surface of. But it was Raj Potal who made the breakthrough. "Captain," he called out, bursting onto the bridge. "I think I've figured out how to communicate more effectively with the Lumina." Sarah raised an eyebrow. "Go on." Raj held up a small device. "It's a light and sound synthesizer. It can replicate their bioluminescent patterns and tonal language. Watch." He activated the device, and a series of beautiful pulsating lights and melodic tones filled the air. Moments later, one of the lumina entered the bridge, its own lights pulsing in an excited rhythm. "Extraordinary," the translated voice came through. "You speak the language of starlight." Sarah couldn't help but smile. Leave it to humans to find a way to bridge the gap, no matter how alien the other side might be. With this new form of communication, progress on repairing the Lumina ship accelerated. Yuki and her team, working in tandem with the alien engineers, managed to stabilize the core. But as they delved deeper into the ship's systems, they discovered something that made Sarah's blood run cold. "Captain," Yuki reported, her usually confident voice tinged with worry. "The Lumina ship, it's not just a vessel. It's alive. The entire thing is a massive, sentient organism, and it's dying." Sarah felt the weight of an entire civilization settle on her shoulders. "Options, Yuki. Give me options." Yuki hesitated. "Well, there is one thing. It's crazy, probably impossible, definitely against about a dozen regulations, but—" "Spit it out, Chief." "We could try to jump-start it, like a massive defibrillator, but we have to channel almost all of our ship's power. We'd be dead in the water for hours, maybe days." Sarah closed her eyes, weighing the decision. To risk her ship, her crew, for an alien species they just met, it went against every protocol in the book. But then she remembered the look in the Lumina's eyes, the last of their kind, an entire civilization's hopes and dreams condensed into one living ship. She opened her eyes, determination blazing in them. "Do it." What followed was a symphony of human ingenuity and alien technology. Yuki and her team worked tirelessly, rerouting power systems, jury-rigging connections between the two vastly different ships. The Lumina watched in awe as the humans threw themselves into the task with a fervor they had never witnessed before. Finally, after hours of non-stop work, everything was ready. "On my mark," Sarah commanded, her voice steady despite the tension thrumming through her. 3, 2, 1, now." A blinding flash lit up space as energy surged from the horizon into the Lumina ship. The horizon's lights flickered and died, emergency systems barely keeping life support online. For a heart-stopping moment, nothing happened. Then, slowly, gloriously, the Lumina ship began to pulse with life. Intricate patterns of light danced across its hull, growing stronger by the second. A song of joy filled the horizon's bridge as the Lumina celebrated. Their ship, their last hope, lived again. As systems slowly came back online, Sarah looked out at the now vibrant alien vessel. They had taken a risk, broken rules, and pushed the boundaries of their technology and understanding. But in doing so, they had saved an entire civilization. This, she realized, was what humanity did best. When faced with the impossible, they found a way. They adapted, improvised, and overcame. And in reaching out to touch the stars, they had discovered the best of themselves. The adventure was far from over. The threat of the Void Eaters still loomed, and the Lumina would need help rebuilding. But as Sarah looked at her crew, humans and Lumina working side by side, she knew that together, they could face anything the universe threw at them. In the depths of space, humanity had found not just new allies, but a new purpose. And the echoes of their resilience would resonate across the stars for generations to come. The Void's hunger. The celebration aboard the UES Horizon was short-lived. As systems slowly came back online after the daring rescue of the Lumina ship, alarms blared across every deck. "Captain," Lieutenant Raj Patel's voice was tight with panic. "Massive gravitational disturbance detected. It's like nothing I've ever seen." Captain Sarah Chen rushed to the bridge, her heart pounding. The view screen flickered to life, revealing a sight that sent chills down her spine. A vast, yawning darkness was spreading across the starfield, devouring light itself. "The Void Eaters," one of the Lumina whispered, its bioluminescent patterns pulsing with fear. Sarah's mind raced. They were in no condition to fight or flee, their power reserves depleted from saving the luminous ship. Options, people. I need options now. Ensign Elena Rodriguez spoke up, her young voice trembling but determined. Captain, what if? What if we could hide? Hide from something that eats stars? Commander Jack Morrison scoffed. No, wait, Chief Engineer Yuki Tanaka interjected, her eyes lighting up with that spark of mad genius Sarah had come to rely on. The kid might be onto something. We can't hide from it, but maybe we can trick it. Sarah leaned forward, intrigued. Explain. Yuki's words tumbled out in a rush of excitement. The luminous ship, it's bioluminescent, right? And these void eaters, they hunt energy. What if we could use a luminous ship to create a massive light show, a decoy to distract the void eaters while we slip away? It was crazy, borderline suicidal, but it just might work. Sarah turned to the Lumina. Your ship, can it handle that kind of energy output? The Lumina conferred among themselves, their lights pulsing rapidly. Finally, one stepped forward. It is possible, but dangerous. We would need to channel energy in ways we never have before, and we would need a pilot, one who could withstand the neural interface of our ship. A heavy silence fell over the bridge. The neural interface of the living luminous ship was designed for their unique physiology. For a human to attempt it, I'll do it, Elena said, standing up from her station. Absolutely not, Sarah began, but Elena cut her off. With all due respect, Captain, I'm the best pilot we have. If anyone has a chance of pulling this off, it's me. Sarah looked into the young ensign's eyes and saw not fear, but fierce determination. She nodded slowly. All right, but at the first sign of trouble, you pull out. That's an order. What followed was a frenzy of activity. Yuki and her team worked with the Lumina to modify their ship's energy systems, pushing them to limits never before imagined. Dr. Zara Okoro monitored Elena's vitals as the Lumina prepared her for the neural interface. As the Void Eaters drew ever closer, Elena was escorted to the luminous ship. Sarah watched from the Horizon's bridge, her heart in her throat, as the young ensign disappeared into the alien vessel. For a moment, nothing happened. Then suddenly, the luminous ship blazed to life. It pulsed with colors beyond human imagination, each flash more dazzling than the last. It spun and danced through space, a beacon of defiance against the encroaching darkness. On the Horizon's bridge, Raj gasped. It's working. The Void Eaters are changing course, following the luminous ship. Sarah allowed herself a small smile. All right, let's not waste this chance. Helm, get us out of here, maximum stealth. As the Horizon slipped away, Sarah kept her eyes fixed on the luminous ship. Elena was out there, risking everything to save them all. The luminous ship's dance became more erratic, its lights flickering as it led the Void Eaters further away. Just when it seemed they might be in the clear, a tendril of darkness lashed out, grazing the luminous ship. No, Sarah cried out, watching in horror as the ship's lights dimmed. But then something extraordinary happened. The luminous ship's lights surged back, brighter than ever. And not just lights, actual solid beams of energy burst forth, slicing through the darkness. Impossible, one of the Lumina whispered. Our ship was never designed as a weapon. Yuki's eyes widened in realization. It's Elena. Somehow, she's interfacing with the ship in ways even you never imagined. She's not just flying it, she's evolving it. The battle that unfolded was like nothing any of them had ever seen. The luminous ship, guided by Elena's human intuition and creativity, danced and wove through space. It fired beams of pure light that seemed to wound the Void Eaters, forcing them back. Hours passed, the tension on the Horizon's bridge palpable. Finally, with a last brilliant flash, the luminous ship drove the Void Eaters away. The starfield cleared, and a collective sigh of relief swept through the crew. Bring them home, Sarah ordered, her voice hoarse with emotion. When Elena was finally extracted from the neural interface, she was barely conscious. But as Dr. Okoro helped her to the medical bay, the young ensign managed a weak smile. "Did we win?" she asked. Sarah squeezed her hand. "We did, thanks to you. You just rewrote the book on interspecies cooperation and combat tactics." As Elena was taken away for treatment, Sarah turned to face the Lumina. Their lights pulsed with a mix of awe and gratitude. "We have existed for millennia," one of them said. "Yet in a few short hours, you humans have shown us possibilities we never imagined. You have saved us, not once, but twice." Sarah smiled, feeling the weight of the moment. That's what humans do. We see the impossible not as a barrier, but as a challenge. And when we come together, with each other and with new friends, there's no challenge we can't overcome. As the Horizon and the Lumina ship set a course for safer space, Sarah knew that this was just the beginning. Humanity had taken its first steps into a larger universe, one filled with wonders and terrors beyond imagination. But they had also shown that the human spirit, adaptable, innovative, and indomitably courageous, was more than ready to meet that universe head-on. The stars stretched out before them, full of endless possibilities, and humanity, hand in hand with their new alien allies, was ready to explore them all. The heart of darkness. The UES Horizon limped through space, its hull bearing the scars of the recent battle. In the medical bay, Ensign Elena Rodriguez lay unconscious, her mind still reeling from the intense neural link with the luminous ship. Captain Sarah Chen stood at her bedside, concern etched on her face. "How is she, Doctor?" Sarah asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Dr. Zara Okoro shook her head, bewildered. "Physically, she's stable, but her brain activity, I've never seen anything like it. It's as if her neural pathways have been completely rewired." A soft glow filled the room as a Lumina entered, its light patterns pulsing with concern. "We fear we may be responsible for the young one's condition," it communicated. "The interface was not designed for human minds. We may have caused irreparable damage." Sarah's jaw clenched. They had saved billions of Lumina lives, but at what cost? Before she could respond, alarms blared throughout the ship. "Captain to the bridge immediately." Commander Morrison's voice crackled over the intercom, tension evident in every syllable. Sarah raced to the bridge, her heart pounding. As she entered, she was met with a sight that made her blood run cold. On the view screen, a massive swirling vortex of darkness loomed before them, far larger than anything they had encountered before. "What are we looking at?" Sarah demanded, her voice steady despite the fear gripping her heart. Lieutenant Raj Patel's fingers flew over his console. "It appears to be a void-eater nest, Captain, and it's directly in our path." The Lumen representatives on the bridge pulsed with terror. "The heart of darkness," one of them whispered, "the source of all void-eaters. No one has ever seen it and survived." Sarah's mind raced. They couldn't go around, their power reserves were too low. They couldn't fight. They were outnumbered and outgunned. It seemed hopeless. Suddenly, a weak voice came over the intercom. "Captain, I know what we need to do." Sarah's eyes widened. "Elena, you should be resting." "No time." Elena's voice was strained but determined. "The luminous ship, it showed me something. A way to fight back. But I need to interface with it again." "Absolutely not," Sarah said firmly. "It almost killed you last time." "It's our only chance," Elena pleaded. "Please, Captain, trust me." Sarah closed her eyes, the weight of command heavy on her shoulders. After a long moment, she nodded. "All right, but I'm coming with you." What followed was a flurry of activity. Elena, still weak, was helped to the luminous ship. Sarah insisted on joining her, despite the protests of her crew. As they prepared to interface, Elena turned to her captain, her eyes shining with a strange, otherworldly light. "Captain," she said softly, "whatever happens, it's been an honor." Before Sarah could respond, They were both engulfed in a blinding light as the neural interface activated. Sarah found herself in a realm of pure energy and thought. Streams of data flowed around her, and she could feel the vast consciousness of the luminous ship. But more than that, she felt Elena's mind, burning bright like a newborn star. This way, Elena's voice echoed in her mind. I'll show you what I learned. Together, they dove deeper into the ship's consciousness. Sarah watched in awe as Elena expertly navigated the alien systems, accessing knowledge and power that should have been impossible for a human mind to comprehend. The Void Eaters, Elena explained, her thoughts merging with the ship's. They're not just consuming energy. They're trying to fill an emptiness, a primal hunger that can never be satisfied, but we can give them what they truly need. Before Sarah could ask what she meant, Elena began to sing. It was unlike anything Sarah had ever heard, a melody that seemed to resonate with the very fabric of space-time. The luminous ship responded, its entire being vibrating in harmony. As they emerged from the neural interface, Sarah gasped in amazement. The luminous ship was transforming, its structure shifting and flowing like liquid starlight. It grew, expanding to many times its original size. What's happening? Sarah asked, awestruck. Elena smiled, her eyes glowing with inner light. We're giving the Void Eaters a home. The transformed luminous ship surged forward, directly into the heart of the Void Eater nest. But instead of being consumed, it began to glow brighter and brighter. The song that Elena had begun in the neural interface now echoed through space, a symphony of light and energy. On the Horizon's bridge, the crew watched in stunned silence as the Void Eaters began to change. Their darkness softened, tendrils of light breaking through their shadowy forms. They're joining the song, Raj whispered in disbelief. Hours passed, the cosmic dance continuing. Finally, with a flash that momentarily outshone the surrounding stars, it was over. Where the Void Eater nest had been, a new celestial body hung in space, a swirling nebula of light and dark, pulsing with life and energy. As Elena and Sarah were brought back to the horizon, the young ensign collapsed, exhausted but smiling. We did it, she murmured. We gave them a home, a purpose. Sarah looked out at the newborn nebula, tears in her eyes. They had come seeking new worlds, new civilizations. Instead, they had helped create one. The Lumina gathered around, their lights pulsing with joy and wonder. In all our centuries of existence, one of them said, we never imagined such a solution. You humans truly are remarkable. Sarah smiled, her heart full of pride for her crew, for humanity. We don't just explore the universe, she said softly. We change it. We make it better. That's the true legacy of humanity. As the Horizon set a course for home, its crew forever changed by their experiences, Sarah knew that this was only the beginning. They had touched the very heart of darkness and transformed it into light, and in doing so, they had opened up a universe of new possibilities. The stars beckoned, brighter than ever before, and humanity, with its indomitable spirit and boundless creativity, was ready to answer their call. The price of creation. The UES Horizon streaked through space, leaving behind the newly born nebula that was once the Void Eater nest. On the bridge, Captain Sarah Chen couldn't shake the feeling that their victory had come too easily. Her eyes kept drifting to Ensign Elena Rodriguez, who sat at her station, a faint glow still lingering beneath her skin. Captain, Lieutenant Raj Patel's voice cut through her thoughts. We're receiving a transmission. It's from Earth. Sarah straightened. On screen. The view screen flickered to life, revealing the stern face of Admiral Zhao. Captain Chen, he began, his voice tight. We've detected a massive energy surge in your sector. Report. As Sarah recounted their encounter with the Void Eaters and the creation of the new nebula, the Admiral's expression grew increasingly grim. Captain, he said when she had finished, you violated at least a dozen protocols. You've interfered with the natural development of 2 alien species. The repercussions of your actions could be catastrophic. Sarah felt a chill run down her spine. Sir, with all due respect, we saved an entire civilization. We transformed a threat into... Into what, exactly? The Admiral cut her off. A new form of life? And what gives us the right to play God in that way? He sighed heavily. Return to Earth immediately. There will be a full inquiry. As the transmission ended, a heavy silence fell over the bridge. It was Commander Jack Morrison who finally spoke up. He's wrong. We did the right thing. Before Sarah could respond, a pained gasp from Elena caught everyone's attention. The young ensign was doubled over, her body pulsing with that strange inner light. Elena. Sarah rushed to her side. Dr. Okoro to the bridge, now. As they waited for the doctor, Elena looked up at Sarah, her eyes wide with fear. Captain, she whispered, I can hear them. The nebula, the void eaters, they're hungry. A chill ran through the crew. Sarah's mind raced. Had they truly solved the problem, or merely transformed it into something potentially worse? Dr. Okoro arrived, quickly assessing Elena's condition. Her neural patterns are off the charts, she reported. It's as if she's still connected to the Lumina ship somehow. That's impossible, one of the Lumina interjected, its lights pulsing rapidly. The connection should have been severed when we left the nebula. Yuki Tanaka, who had been quietly observing, suddenly snapped her fingers. Unless it wasn't just Elena connecting to the ship. What if the ship connected back? The implications hung heavy in the air. Had they inadvertently created some kind of cosmic hive mind? And was Elena now a part of it? Before they could ponder this further, the ship shuddered violently. Ray's fingers flew over his console. Captain, the nebula, it's expanding at an impossible rate. And it's following us. The view screen showed a horrifying sight. The once beautiful nebula had transformed into a roiling mass of darkness and light, tendrils reaching out across space, and it was gaining on them fast. Maximum warp, Sarah ordered. We need to warn Earth. As the horizon pushed its engines to the limit, Elena's condition worsened. Her body asked in pain, light pouring from her eyes. Captain, she gasped, they want more. The hunger, it's too much. Sarah's mind raced. They had tried to solve one problem and created another, potentially far worse. The weight of her decisions, the lives at stake, pressed down on her. Options, she barked. I need options. Yuki stepped forward, her face grim. We could try to sever Elena's connection, use an EM pulse to disrupt the link. That could kill her, Dr. Okoro protested. And if we don't, that thing might consume the entire galaxy, Jack countered. Sarah looked at Elena, writhing in pain, then at the advancing cosmic horror on the view screen. The fate of not just humanity, but countless worlds, hung in the balance. Do it, Sarah said, her voice barely a whisper. As Yuki prepared the pulse, Sarah knelt beside Elena. I'm sorry, she said, tears in her eyes. I'm so sorry. Elena's hand shot out, gripping Sarah's arm with surprising strength. Wait, she gasped. I can control it. I just need time. Sarah hesitated. Every instinct screamed at her to end this, to protect her crew and her world. But hadn't it been human ingenuity and compassion that had gotten them this far? Belay that order, Sarah said, standing up. Elena, what do you need? Get me to the Lumina ship, Elena managed through gritted teeth. I can reshape it, like before. It was risky, possibly suicidal, but as Sarah looked around at her crew, human and Lumina alike, she saw determination in their eyes. They had come too far to give up now. Plot an intercept course with the Lumina ship, Sarah ordered. We're going to finish what we started. As the horizon changed course, flying directly towards the heart of the cosmic storm they had created, Sarah felt the weight of galaxies on her shoulders. They had reshaped the universe once. Now they would have to do it again, or face the consequences of their well-intentioned meddling. The ship plunged into the swirling chaos, alarms blaring as systems were pushed to their breaking point. In the heart of the storm, Elena stood, her body a conduit between humanity, the Lumina, and the transformed Void Eaters. As energy crackled around them and the very fabric of space-time seemed to warp, Sarah realized that this was humanity's true test, not just exploring the stars, but taking responsibility for the changes they brought to the cosmos. With a final, blinding flash, everything went dark. The fate of Elena, the crew, and perhaps the entire galaxy hung in the balance as the light of creation and destruction engulfed them all. The Cosmic Symphony. In the heart of the swirling maelstrom, where light and darkness danced in chaotic harmony, the UES Horizon hung suspended. Inside, Captain Sarah Chen and her crew watched in awe as Ensign Elena Rodriguez, bathed in otherworldly light, stretched out her hands towards the viewscreen. "Elena," Sarah whispered, her voice tight with concern, "what's happening?" Elena's eyes, now pools of swirling stardust, met Sarah's. When she spoke, her voice echoed with the wisdom of eons. "I understand now, Captain. We didn't just change the Void Eaters. We awakened something, ancient, something that's been sleeping since the dawn of the universe." As if in response to her words, the cosmic storm around them pulsed, sending waves of energy rippling through the ship. The luminous lights flickered rapidly, their usual melodious tones now a symphony of excitement and fear. It's the universe itself," one of the Lumina whispered in awe. "Conscious, alive." Yuki Tanaka, her eyes wide with wonder, stepped forward. "You mean everything is connected? The Void Eaters, the Lumina, us, are all part of some cosmic organism?" Elena nodded, a serene smile on her face despite the chaos around them. "More than that. We're its neurons, its senses, and humanity. Humanity is its imagination." The implications hit Sarah like a physical blow. Every decision they had made, every risk they had taken, it wasn't just about saving a species or exploring the unknown. They had been participating in the evolution of the universe itself. Suddenly, the ship shuddered violently. Alarms blared as systems began to fail. "Hull integrity at 60% and dropping," Raj reported, his fingers flying over his console. "Whatever's happening out there, we can't take much more of it." Sarah's mind raced. They were witnessing something miraculous, but at what cost? "Elena," she said urgently, "we need to stop this. The ship can't handle." "We can't stop it, Captain," Elena interrupted, her voice eerily calm. "But we can guide it, shape it. The universe is waking up, and it needs us, all of us, to show it how to dream." As if on cue, the Lumina began to sing, their bioluminescent patterns synchronizing with the swirling energies outside. One by one, the human crew felt something stir within them, a connection to something vast and incomprehensible. "I can feel it," Jack whispered, his usual stoicism cracking. "It's beautiful." Sarah felt it too, a sense of unity, of purpose that transcended anything she had ever experienced. But with it came a crushing responsibility. "How?" she asked Elena. "How do we guide something so vast?" Elena's smile widened. "The same way we've always done it, Captain, with courage, compassion, and creativity. We show the universe the best of what humanity has to offer." Understanding dawned on Sarah. This was humanity's true destiny, not just to explore the stars, but to help shape the very consciousness of the cosmos. "All right, crew," Sarah said, her voice ringing with determination. "Let's show the universe what we're made of. Yuki, reroute all power to the shields. Raj, broadcast a message to every ship and planet in range. We're going to need all the help we can get. Dr. Okoro, work with the Lumina to stabilize Elena's condition. The rest of you, think, dream. Imagine the best possible future for every being in this universe." As the crew sprang into action, Sarah closed her eyes, focusing on everything that made humanity unique, their ability to love, to create, to persevere against impossible odds. She thought of Earth, of the billions of souls who called it home, each with their own hopes and dreams. Around them, the cosmic storm began to change. The chaotic swirls of energy gradually coalesced into intricate patterns, like the neurons of a vast, cosmic brain coming online for the first time. Elena's voice, now harmonizing with the luminous song, filled the bridge. It's working. The universe, it's learning from us, from all of us. On the view screen, Sarah watched in awe as new stars burst into life. Galaxies rearranged themselves into impossible, beautiful configurations. And through it all, she felt a sense of profound connection to her crew, to every living being, to the very fabric of space-time itself. Hours passed, or perhaps eons. Time seemed to lose all meaning in the heart of creation. Finally, with a flash that momentarily outshone every star in existence, it was over. The horizon hung in space, surrounded by a cosmos transformed. New constellations painted the sky, telling stories of courage, love, and the indomitable spirit of life itself. Elena collapsed, caught gently by Dr. Okoro and Illumina. Her eyes, now back to their normal hue, fluttered open. Did we do it? Sarah helped her to her feet, a proud smile on her face. We did more than that, Ensign. We birthed a new age of the universe. As the crew marveled at the new reality around them, a transmission crackled through the comm system. It was Admiral Zao, his voice filled with a mix of awe and confusion. Captain Chen, he said, we're detecting impossible changes throughout known space. New worlds, new forms of energy we can't even begin to comprehend. What happened out there? Sarah looked at her crew, humans and Lumina, now bonded by an experience beyond imagination. She thought of the transformed Void Eaters, no longer consumed by hunger, but part of a greater whole, and she smiled. Admiral, she replied, prepare Earth for a new era. We've made first contact with the universe itself. As the horizon set a course for home, Sari knew that this was just the beginning. They had reshaped reality, but the true adventure was just starting. Humanity, with its boundless imagination and indomitable spirit, was now the caretaker of a living, dreaming cosmos. The stars beckoned, brighter and more numerous than ever before, and in the depths of space, in the heart of newborn galaxies and ancient nebulae, something vast and beautiful stirred, the universe, awakening to its own infinite potential, guided by the dreams of countless species, with humanity leading the way. The cosmic symphony had only just begun, and its melody would echo through eternity.